I've been saying from the get-go, it's not really about the monsters outside. They're really just a context. They're really just the trigger mechanism for the real story, which is the people inside the market and how people react, how they act, how they conflict, try to pull together, turn against one another, what mistakes they make in this pressure cooker of fear. That's what I found tremendously interesting.
You know, we're fighting for to survive. We're fighting for goodness. We're fighting for the best result and you know, the best outcome and for civilization. When the people who supposedly have the faith, and this is Carmody and the followers, are doing the most atrocious things in the name of God, which is very similar to Silent Hill, using God as an excuse, as a device to hide from their fear.
And in this story, there's some very interesting parallels, you know, fear-based leadership and how people step outside their area of ethics. And historically, the world does, and not just talking about the moment in which we live, which is palpable right now, but historically, with a fear-based leadership, you step outside your area of ethical morality, and you commit human atrocity in the name of freedom, religion, safety, economy. And we've done it, you know, America's certainly done it. We've been from the Indians to slavery to whatever. We've done it throughout history and continue to do so. And here it was interesting to take in this microcosmic situation and watch it work again.
As an actor, I mean, that is the interesting challenge of the genre, is because, you know, the way he structures the films is once the trouble starts, it doesn't really stop. And you're in danger of being in a state of consternation for like 2 hours, weeks and weeks, and go around going, and so you're trying to find a way as an actor of modulating that fear.
The fear isn't sort of like fight the fear. The fear is like, I better get out of this thing. I don't know exactly what it is. I remember I stepped on one of the extras' toes. I stepped on her toes twice, you know. And she says, why are you stepping on my toe? I said, you know, I really don't want to be, I don't want to be first, but I also don't want to be last. So when the crowd surges toward the door, hey, I surge toward the door, you know what I mean? And when they recoil from the door with the screams, I sort of recoil too, because I kind of want to stay in the middle of the pack, you know what I mean? And part of that's just our nature, you know, that's just our adrenaline working at the same moment. But, you know, Brent is subject to that too.
This was renegade, fly by the seat of your pants, never knew where the cameras were. You had to be on all the time. It kind of felt like live theater. The beauty of this was that he cast so many great actors. It was such a wonderful ensemble, and everybody fed off each other. Everybody fueled one another. So every time you did a take, you would catch another actor's eye and another actor's eye, and it would be different, a little bit different every time. And you trusted that Frank and the editor would choose which moment they liked, but it was really like a live performance that we all had to be in the moment for. So I think it really helped make the film very raw and visceral.
I like doing the mist because there's at least like a few days of having a smile on your face, but then most of the time you had to turn that smile upside down.
It's a great thing to induce fear, because no one always does. In truth, yeah, you could have made it without the creatures. Actually, you could have made this movie, but I mean, that's the fun part. That's the frosting on the cake. If you're going to make a movie like this, you know, have the fun part too. Why not?
He shows the scene with the tentacles, and he's like, and then this tentacle's gonna come. And he's getting little tentacles. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. And then he's like, and then they're gonna chomp on the guy. And then it's just so funny to watch, you know, Frank do his job, and it's so cool to watch other people do their job too.
I had the curious privilege of going upstairs from the studio to where the special effects guys were and feeling my own innards, the innards that were going to be spilt from the crane onto the car windscreen. They said, do you want to come and feel what you feel like? Okay. So, you know, there's all those intriguing pleasures you get when you work on a horror film.
he's a great novelist. He seems to be connected to the horror genre, but he surpasses it. You know, he's a very humane, insightful writer, and he's bigger than the genre. The genre now is, you know, serial killers and spooky boos and vampires and super fast zombies and that kind of stuff. And if Stephen King did it, you would always find yourself very close to the hero, you know, sort of inside their skin as you approach these horrific events.
King didn't provide an ending because of the way where he sets it in a non-horror, almost like an anti-horror location. It's almost drawing attention to itself. It's artifice in a way. It's horror genre. And I think that if you, I think to talk about probably the most controversial element of the film, the ending, you could say it would be odd if people came out of a horror film and didn't want to talk about it. Whereas in a normal horror film, everything has sort of been dealt with. The popcorn's been thrown, the data's worked, everyone's happy, you go home, your adrenaline's been exercised, you have your sugary drink, everything's okay again. Here, it would be odd if you didn't go off for your pizza and need to talk about what on earth was that all about. Because I think somewhere the ending makes you think about what you tolerated in a way that normal horror films don't make you think about what you tolerated. It's just what you needed to do to jump.
It was the very first test screening we did with the public in New Jersey, and he flew in for that, and in Paramus. And there's one moment in the movie, it's when Bill Sadler hits the door. Steve King jumped about 3 feet out of his seat. And as he landed, he scrunched way down. Scared the hell out of him. And I thought,
how long do you think it would take for the world to fall apart with such a powerful unknown freaking people out? On a scale this big? 2 days?
2 days,